Hello, it's good morning here. Okay, so welcome to today's episode of YouTube tutorials on web development. So today I picked an interesting topic, which is intersection observers in web development. So we are not going to actually manually code it. We are going to com- compute using Alpine.JS. So as you can see here, I have already set up a template, an HTML and CSS template. So last time I did say I was hardly going to use CSS on this YouTube channels, vanilla CSS to be specific. So today, as you can see, I'm implementing my CSS through Tailwind CDN. Okay, so let's start. So, I first thing what we need now is actually for you to install Alpine.JS. So you can actually go and manually install it and use the npm to install it. So that's your import and then assign it to the window and then start it. So when and then we have to also get the plugin for the intersect. So this is the plugin for the intersect. This is the CDN plugin and this is the npm install. So you, I have to remind you guys when you're actually implementing this, you actually need to follow the guidelines. There after getting your Alpine.js, you need to make sure you get your intersect bundle and then insert it into the plugin. All right, this is how you do it. And when you are using the CDN, to make sure the plugin for the intersect comes before the plugin for the main CDN plugin for the main Alpine call. Okay, let's get it. So I'm getting my image from imagekit.io here, and most of my templates, HTML template is coming from Flowbar. They have cool UI templates for free here, so you can check them out if you don't know about them. All right, so let's go. So this is it. It's just your basic navigation system. I have an intro here, H1 with Peter here. Okay, Rebel base tutorial on intersection observer using Alpine.js, and then I have a card here. So I have a little bit of an article here, lorem data. So this is quite useless. Okay, so okay, let me take this out here for now, and then let's look at the documentation. Okay, so after installing, this is how we initialize data in Alpine.js, X data, and then the name of the data, and then whatever value you give it. So this is it shown false. So let's start with something as basic as this. Uh, Let me just grab it, and then I will place it at the very top of our container here. So X shown is equal to false. So basically it's a boolean variable that initially starts in a false state. So we'll take this out here. Let's move on to this. So when this div intersects with our window, which basically means that the moment it comes into view, the variable, the boolean for shown will switch from false to true. And then let's go and grab this. Okay, and then we will set this. So actual, if you are familiar with Vue, React, Angular, actual basically means that div or whatever you are assigning this actual to will only be visible when true. So if it is true, it will show. If it is false, it won't. So let me keep this at false. Oh, okay. So this is the card. Let me take this out here. And then let me get this transition and the eggshell. I am going to make some changes here. Okay. So this is it. So as you can see, our card and our H1 and P tag are not visible since it's the variable, but the boolean variable for shown is actually false. So if we were to switch to through, this is what happens when it reloads. X intersects shows what things are shown. Hmm, let's restart. So the reason why it's going off is because this intersect here is actually still in the viewport and it is actually setting this to false. So we just need to clear this and then we can get what we want. Um, Save. So as you can see now that I've turned it off, so let's take a look. When I restart the window, transition slow, but this transition is still basic. So in order to properly get what we want, let's add other variables to this transition. So duration points, let's say 1,000 milliseconds. Let's start it and see how slow it is. So as you can see, when we switch to 1,000 milliseconds, this is a second clock. Let's slow more. So this is a basic example of observable intersections in web development. So let's switch to something more advanced. So I'm going to set more variables here. So shown two. Also set this to false, and then I'm going to set the shown three. I want to going to set it to false. Uh, False here. Good. Good. Okay. Let's clear this. Yeah. Good. Okay. So let's change this to this is one, and then let's get this intersect here, and then place it here, and let's give it a show two. Okay. So action. Okay. Let me give this a margin top of uh, 200 pixel. 200 pixel isn't enough. Let's make it 600 pixel. Make it 4. And then 500 pixel. Good. So it's now out of the viewports here, and then let me give this is supposed to be X. So shown 3 will be through here, and then I'm going to just grab. Okay, let me set it here. Okay, this is 3, this is 3, and I'm going to give this margin top of plus 600. Okay, and I'm also going to give this margin top of 600 pixel. Alright, so let's set it up. Okay, so let's go slow and easy. So first of all, the moment we start window here, window.load, our first element will come into view. And as you can see, our card here has also come into view here, and then take a look. The next element has also come into view. Mm, okay. Okay. So I would also prefer to separate this to another 600 pixel. We can actually get a better view of the transition between the elements. So let's go first, then start second. Uh, okay, so as you can see, it's working now. But then let's go back to the documentation and take a look here. Okay, so this is X enter. So this is a deep dive into how intersections work in Alpine here. So we can actually set here, we are setting the X intersection is true. Here we are going, the moment it's in view, show it's true, and the moment it leaves the view, we return it to false. Okay, but here it says true, but we are going to send it to false. So here we'll add our enter and make it true. And then let me change this. I'm going to append another variable here which will be leave. The moment it leaves our viewport, we are going to turn it to false. So let me just grab it. Mm, and let me come here and also append it here. And then let me append, oh, hold on. I appended it here. Okay, so let me add enter, and then let me add enter, and then let me add leave. Okay, let's go back. Check it out. As you can see, it's working here. It's working here. It's working here. Okay, let me see. Okay, this is totally wrong here. Margin to same. Okay, so if we were to go back here, it will show up again, and then it will show up. So this is another method which we could use to make our web application look nicer. And then let's go. So the once modify here means the intersection, whatever CSS we add to the section, whatever transition, whether we do opacity, whether we do transition from Y or X, it should fire only once. So when we take off, we will need to take out the leaf, and then it will fire only once. So this is what I wanted to talk about, the half and full. So this half and full, it simply means that if the element is half of it actually shows up in the viewport, then shown will become true. And then the full also means the moment 100% of it, technically it's 99%, 0.99 is in view, then shown will now be true. So let's go ahead and try it. So let's start with let's forget about this because it will always be the same. And let's go here to the card. So we just need to add it here. So we add the dot and then we do full, and then we do exactly the same thing here for. Let's go ahead and implement it. Boom. It's working. See. Probably almost done. Okay, let's go. Alright. It's here now. So it's back here. And then we are back here. Okay. And then you can also set a threshold to on it on the intersection of 0 2. So this value should range between 0 and 100. It's basically the half or full, except that with threshold you have a lot more control. With half is basically 50, full is 100. But with threshold you could set it to 20, threshold of 20, and then if 20% shows up, it will immediately fire. And then with the margin to root margin, allows you to control it. If we had done this, we had actually coded this in vanilla JavaScript that could have explained it in a more deeper sense. So with root margin, you could set a margin. When you set the margin 200 pixels, if the element actually enters this margin that you have set, only then will our intersection observer fire. That is how this root margin works. Alright. So we this is our point. Okay, let me get this. Let me change the transition here. Let's get a better transition here. Okay, so with the transition, there are a lot of transition we could use. So I'm just going to grab this for the demo. Normally, I prefer to transition it on the X or Y axis. Those ones are much better for web development. So let me take out this transition and then show two. Let's do this. Okay. let's add the duration, ms. Okay. Now we could start out still from opacity 0 to 90. But this is it. Mhm. So this is it for. Okay, so this is one thing I would like to add about Alpine.JS. Okay, uh, when you are using a framework, especially a framework like Vue, React, and Angular, these frameworks actually take control over your DOM tree. They manipulate it. If you are using Vue, you have your Vuex, and you could actually set variables there. And Vue also has its show, uh, uh, vshow, vif, and all those things. Those classes are used to manipulate your DOM tree. So sometimes Alpine.js actually conflicts with these frameworks, these front-end frameworks, since both of them are trying to uh, manipulate your DOM tree. So you shouldn't really use, I wouldn't recommend using Alpine.js if you are actually using a framework like React, since they already have React, Vue, and Angular already having built-in transition classes like this already. Vue has a Vue transition. React also has one, but I have never used Angular, so I really can't say anything about that. But Vue has a built-in transition function that would give you cool, observable intersections like this. Yeah, so this is it. How to actually implement Alpine.js observable intersections. Yeah. But I think it would be better if I made a video on how to actually hard code something like that, since you probably won't be able to use it in a framework. But if you were using a framework like uh, Ghost, Gin, or Laravel, or Symfony, you could easily use Alpine.js. In fact, Laravel has its store stack uh, with that, which is Livewire, Tailwind, Alpine. All right, and Laravel, that's the tool stack. And actually, Alpine.js is actually embedded into the core of the tool stack. So Alpine.js is very good for Laravel. I think it's good for Go, Gentoo, and Java. I'm not sure about. I've never used Java before. But if you are using a front end library, I really wouldn't recommend you using Alpine.js. I did read an article. I encountered a problem a while back, about last year or last 2 years, where I happened to figure out that the you actually run into a conflict with Alpine.js and this front end libraries. And the creator of Alpine.js said under the comment section said there was no plans to actually rectify it. So this was in, I think, 2021, and I don't know if Caleb did change his mind, but I wouldn't recommend this if you are using it in a front end framework. But I would really recommend it if you are building with a full stack framework like Symfony, Laravel, and Node.js. It works seamlessly with them. Okay, so this is it for today. Watch out for my next video. I'm going to be dropping a video on Livewire, implement the features of Livewire, polling, Livewire key, Livewire internet, nets, and all that. So that would be my next video. I've already shot it, editing it before uploading it. So before do that, I decided to give you guys something pretty useful, pretty cool with Alpine.JS. Alright, so thank you, and I'll see you guys soon.